Shavuos is coming up. What should we do for Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor? We already did Little Shop of Horrors for those people who dig kosher flowers. Speaking of flowers, we also already did The Corpse Vanishes. I know. What if we do a Shavuos short Shubject Extravaganza?
For better picture quality, adjust tracking control on your VCR.
Whether you're watching this on the Koblenzer Rebbe official channel or on our special Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor channel, especially on that channel, the Rabbi Joe's channel, we actually have expanded versions of these shows that have things that might be copyrighted and be problematic for sponsors for that reason. So please subscribe to both channels and check out them both. Thank you.
When the clock strikes 12, and the veil between worlds thins, join us. Welcome to the starkest hour. Welcome to Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor.
The baby's name is Moses. He will grow up to take down the 10 Commandments from Mount Sinai. Paramount Pictures is proud to announce the return of the greatest motion picture of all time, The 10 Commandments. What love it unveils, what drama it unfolds, what a story it tells, what majesty it encompasses. One of the greatest adventure stories ever hurled from any book. Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments in Technicolor. The original film has millions thrilled to it, all roaring to the single most spectacular scene ever filmed, the parting of the Red Sea. Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the set at 20th Century Fox Studio, where producer Samuel G. Engel and director Henry Koster are filming one of the studio's most important productions, The Story of Ruth, written for the screen by Norman Corwin. This is the producer-director team responsible for Come to the Stable and A Man Called Peter. Mr. Koster also directed The Robe. Now, in the same impressive tradition, they bring to the world one of the most beautiful and touching motion pictures the screen has ever known. All of the spectacle, heathen idolatry, and splendor of pagan courts. All of the heart and warmth of one of the timeless love stories from the Bible.
For where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. No, if Kara's not watching out for you, they'll find you and kill you. Go now, Malone, go.
We gave you shelter and sustenance, and you repaid us by attempting to corrupt a priestess.
I do not repent of my love for her, or for telling her of a God of justice.
We shall teach you something of justice. The axe is too swift and kind for a tempter and corrupter. You will be sent to the quarries for the rest of your life.
The Story of Ruth recreates from the legends of antiquity an exciting tale of romance and adventure. You will see banishment to the slave quarries, the giant stone god taking its prey, the fire-bellied idol demanding human sacrifice. the shaming of the pagan priestess. Escape. Amid a torrent of flaming oil. You'll witness Ruth's flight across the desert, pursued by Moabite warriors. And you'll hear Naomi's counsel to Ruth.
Wait until Boaz goes to sleep. And mark the place where he lies down. Then lie beside him.
Naomi, what are you saying?
I love you, Ruth. I have loved you from the day we met in my field.
And from their children and their children's children came a great king and a royal house, and a prophet whom many worship as the Messiah.
Welcome back to Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor.
Shalom Aleichem! Good evening, boils and ghouls, Torah scholars and lactose-tolerant Americans. Welcome once again to Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor. Tonight, in honor of the upcoming holy festival of Shavuos, we proudly present our Shavuos short Shubject Exshtravaganza Shpecial. That's right, a whole night of educational short films about dairy farms, biblical heroes, and horrifying insect-eating vegetation. Because nothing says receiving the Torah, which we always have flowers and plants decorating, quite like being devoured by a fern. You know, according to tradition, we eat dairy foods on Shavuos: cheesecake, blintzes, kugel, sour cream, cheese kreplach, basically the holiday where Ashkenazic Jews collectively declare war on lactose intolerance. So tonight's films are sponsored by the Council for the Advancement of Cottage Cheese and Panic.
And now a word from our sponsors. Shalom, my little ghouls. Even a golem needs his calcium. These blintzes are so good, they'll bring the 10 Commandments down on your head, literally.
Hey, Jim, come quick. Flying saucers.
Call my flapjacks flying saucers. Bet you sign up for that first trip to the moon, Joey.
Not unless I'm sure I can get good cooking like yours, Pete, and plenty of good Borden's milk to go with it.
I don't know anything as good with breakfast as a glass of Borden's milk.
Unless, of course, it's another glass of Borden's milk.
Right. Well, drink up, Joey. We've got a long ride ahead of us this morning.
This good Borden's milk will keep us going.
You drink up, too. You know, every meal's the time for Borden's. Between meals, too. It's good and so good for you. So, kids, won't you make sure that your mom always keeps plenty of that good Borden's milk on hand? And I do mean Borden's. It's the only milk that we drink.
Hey, Mom! Be sure to buy Borden! Buy Borden!
Well, America, Mogan David did it. Got you all spritzing.
That's spritzing.
That's drinking America's spunky wine, Mogan David, with a good spritz of soda.
That's spritzing.
Now, no wishy-washy wine will do, mind you. Know why?
It can lose its taste.
But Mogan David's got just the right kind of full-bodied spunk to stand up to all that refreshing ice and soda.
That's spritzing.
Like I was saying, Mogan David's America's spunky spritzer.
That's spritzing.
All right, remember we talked about flowers. Here's our first short. It's from Moody College, which is actually, it's a Christian college. It's their science series that they made back in the day, and this one's about carnivorous plants. I think Rabbi Victor Miller would appreciate this one because it talks about how carnivorous plants point to intelligent design. But also, we decorate our synagogues and homes on Shavuos with plants and flowers, probably here at the Manor. We'll have some pitcher plants and Venus flytraps. Let's see. All right, enjoy. All right, welcome back, my friends. Our first short film comes from the legendary Moody Science Institute, which is actually a Christian seminary. Not sure how all that works. Please don't complain. I know this is a Jewish show. They were producers of educational films that answered questions really nobody asked. So tonight, straight from 1955, Carnivorous Plants. Plants that trap and digest living creatures. Which explains what happened to my cousin Seymour after he tried gardening in Brooklyn. You know, carnivorous plants are a lot like some people at a Shavuos Kiddush. They lure you in innocently, and then before you know it, have another blintz. No thank you. Take another blintz. Suddenly you're trapped in a digestive system made of sour cream. Roll it, Igor.
Pleasant memory is all that remains of a world with 1 or 2 horsepower. Old Dobbin would find himself quite out of place on a fast and crowded highway. The iron horse was a modern marvel when Grandmother was a girl, but now... Today, cameras and rockets 100 miles above the Earth are giving us a glimpse of what the passenger of tomorrow may consider commonplace. Well, this certainly is an age of progress, isn't it? There's been more of scientific discovery, more of technical advancement and material progress in your lifetime and mine than in all the ages of history. Invention has become the symbol of the age. And the mousetrap could well be the symbol of invention. What father hasn't said to his offspring, son, build a better mousetrap and the world will be the pathway to your door? And the sons have been busy doing just that, thinking, planning, working, and they've built their better mousetraps. For man has discovered a lot of things. And yet, perhaps the most embarrassing discovery is the fact that regardless of what man may invent or devise, nature had it first. Traps? Why, there are literally millions of them. Far more wonderful and complex than anything man has ever thought of. The similarity between a Venus flytrap and a bear trap is quite remarkable, isn't it? The general appearance, the teeth, the action. Now, the bear trap has a trigger right there. And if that trigger is pushed, now the Venus flytrap has a trigger also. In fact, it has 6 of them. 3 on each side. But there's a difference. The bear trap doesn't know a bear from a piece of wood, but the Venus flytrap does. You see, to touch the trigger hair just once is not enough. Nothing happens. But if we touch the trigger hairs more than once, and at just the right intervals, the trap is sprung. You see, no energy is wasted on a twig or a leaf that might fall into the trap. But even more amazing is how those trigger hairs work. There is actually a flow of electrical current from those tiny trigger hairs to the apex of the plant. And when anything touches them, the flow of current is interrupted. A correct number of these negative impulses will cause the trap to spring. If the insect struggles to get away, more pulses cause the trap to close even tighter. Man may have thought he built a better mousetrap, but he's never built one like this. Why, the trap is also a stomach. The animal will soon be digested by the plant, and in a few days, the Venus flytrap will be open for business again. Now, that action of the jaws snapping shut, it can take place in a 25th of a second. It can even catch flies. And yet the plant is completely devoid of muscle tissue. That flow of electric current, we know it's there. And yet the plant has no nervous system. How does it happen? Someday we'll know. The plant life of North America's bogs and swamps reveals that a master craftsman has laid out with intricate design a variety of traps to serve the needs of nature. Some of the traps are passive. The trumpet plant, for example, is a type of pitfall. It's composed of a long, slender tube which will average from 18 to 24 inches in length. Down inside the tube are tiny glands that produce a nectar, and the nectar serves to attract the insects. The cobra plant is another type of pitfall, and like all the others, it may be passive, but it's very effective. The hood of the plant is a maze of tiny windows. These appear to the trapped insects to be a way of escape. In a frustrated attempt for freedom, a false step usually occurs, and the insect adds to the daily mineral requirements of a carnivorous plant. Yet another type of pitfall is the pitcher plant. The shape of the leaves is responsible for its name. The leaves actually grow in such a manner that they form pitchers. Pitchers that are 6 to 8 inches deep and as much as 1 to 2 inches wide. Most of the pitfalls simply allow the prey to follow the line of least resistance. Getting out, however, is an entirely different matter. The tiny hairs on the welcome mat suddenly become spears that surround a prison. When an insect topples in, a pool of death awaits below. The liquid will put him to sleep and then digest him. The traps always eat what they catch. Beautiful, isn't it? But these are not flowers. They're leaves of the sundew plant, nature's own brand of flypaper, and they're covered with bright red hairs. The glands that manufacture the sticky secretion are located at the ends of these hairs, and it is through these same glands that the food is assimilated by the body of the plant. Talk about your traps. This is a working model of one of the most fantastic traps ever built. Now the prey approaches, triggers the mechanism, this trap even resets itself. Now, can you imagine building all of this complicated mechanism into a trap the size of the head of this pin? God did it. The plant itself, the utricularia, lives beneath the surface of the water. Each of the small globular objects is a trap, much more complicated than our working model. The trap itself is so tiny that it will take a microscope to see it work. But if we're fortunate, we can actually see the plant trap tiny animals. Notice the guide hairs and the 3 small trigger hairs. Now, don't blink your eyes. You're liable to miss the catch. This little animal doesn't know which way to go. And he's just the kind of a fellow Utricularia likes to have around. Did you see it? Well, I told you not to blink. You see, the catch is actually made in a 50th of a second. Now watch closely this time. When the trigger hairs are bent, the trap is sprung. And when an animal gets sucked inside, eventually he succumbs and is digested. Even the Utricularia sometimes overeats. When we see such a complex mechanism as this, and remember, it's no larger than the head of a pin, man's best traps look strangely cold and ineffective by comparison. Man's progress has not been due to discovery of new things, but merely to the uncovering of principles and devices that God ordained in nature.
Terrifying. Plants eating insects? Next thing you know, the parsley on the Seder plate starts demanding tribute payments. You know, the film Clean claimed these plants only consumed insects. But I once saw a synagogue sisterhood cheesecake that it could have taken down a medium-sized elk. More after this.
Lullaby, time to dream. Now it's dream time for baby.
Well, come along, folks, and listen to the tale of the bouncing babies on the pet milk trail. Come with I, yippee, 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 we're strong and sturdy, fed the pet milk way. They're sturdy and strong and happy as can be, 'cause the milk they get is P-E-T. Come with I, yippee, 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 we're strong and sturdy, fed the pet milk way. Oh, away out west where a man from man, they mark their heifers with the pet milk brand. Come with I, yippee, 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 we're strong and sturdy, fed the pet milk way. Every mother dreams of a happy, healthy baby. Ask your doctor about pet milk for your baby.
Come on, Gorky. Come on.
Well, hello there.
Good heavens, a talking cow. Gorky, what did you say?
Young man. Now take it easy, young man. I'm harmless.
Oh, you're harmless? I'm glad to meet you. I'm Clem Cadiddlehoff.
No. My name is Throckmorton. J.P. Throckmorton.
No kidding.
Say, that's a mighty fine-looking cow you've got.
Isn't that a hunk of beef for you? No kidding, boy. That's a nice cow. Right. Where's your manners, anyhow? On top of that, you have a bad breath, you know? Well, sir, like they say, it's a psychiatry. Get it out of your system.
Welcome back to Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor. Tonight, enjoy our Shavuos special.
Right, here's our big feature for today. It's not really a feature, it's still a short, but it's longer than your average short, so it's kind of a mini feature. It's The Story of Ruth, a British film. I'm sorry, I can't find any Jewish public domain movies for this holiday, but it's a Christian film from England from 1937, this biblical story of Ruth. I don't see what the problem could be with it. I haven't watched it yet. I hope there's no problems. Traditionally, we read the book of Ruth on Shavuos, Megillas Rus, because it takes place during the harvest season. And also, it teaches the ancestry of King David, who traditionally was born and passed away on Shavuos. This book teaches loyalty, kindness, and how to survive living with relatives, especially in-laws. The book of Ruth is actually beautiful. It was my bubby's favorite book of the Tanakh, of the Jewish Bible. Romance, redemption, barley. It's basically Hallmark Channel for Talmud scholars and biblical novices. And remember, Ruth famously declared, "Whither thou goest, I will go," which is also what people say when they see the cheesecake table at the all-night Shavuos learning. All right, Igor, roll it.
Peace be unto thee, stranger. And unto thee also. Peace.
From whence cometh thou?
From Judea, below the Jordan.
What tidings dost thou bring of the famine?
The famine is ended. For there the fields are green and the barley is grown just below the knee. Never have I known such promise of a harvest.
And this is Judea, a country that hath suffered from drought for year upon year.
Yea, the same. In Bethlehem, from whence I have come, all is rejoicing. And the people praise Jehovah their God, believing that at last he showeth them mercy, and hath forgiven them their sins.
Ruth, hear thou this man. He hath journeyed from Bethlehem. The rains have come. There'll be famine no longer, but a plenteous harvest.
Naomi.
Yea, Naomi.
Let us go and tell her. It is glad news indeed, yet hath she not often declared, when the hand of the Lord turneth again toward Judea, then will I take my leave of you, and return home to Bethlehem, unto mine own people.
She will not leave us. Like ourselves, she is a widow. Here she hath at least a home, while in Bethlehem there is none to receive her. No other welcome but the memory of the past, the vision of her dead husband Elimelech, and of her sons Chilion and Mahlon.
But here in Moab, she is an alien. It is 10 long years since her family found refuge here with us. Mahlon was but a boy.
And Chilion no more than a youth.
Who became our husbands. And now, already we also are widows.
Only Naomi is left.
Orpah, before we go to Naomi, I have not told thee of my resolve. If she returneth, then will I go also and abide with her in Bethlehem.
And leave thy father and thy people.
I love Naomi, and cannot bear that she be desolate.
But hast thou thought?
If thou must reason with me, then later. I pray thee, say naught of this as yet to Naomi. She will but chide with me. Come.
Naomi! Naomi! Thy country is saved. Famine is ended. And once again there is promise of plenty.
Who saith it? One that hath come from Bethlehem, thine own town.
Rain hath fallen over Judea, and now the barley is everywhere, thick and in blade.
Praise be to the Lord, for he has visited his people and blessed them. Oh, my children, what sorrows have we shared?
Wilt thou be leaving us?
Yea, now must I go from Moab, that I may live and die among mine own people. For surely the Almighty now holdeth out his hand, even unto Naomi his servant, a widow in a strange land.
As thy heart biddeth thee, that shalt thou do.
10 years have I lived in Moab, and great kindness hath been shown me. But sad am I to leave 3 graves on yonder hillside.
Be not sad, Naomi. Thou wilt yet find happiness.
Yea, indeed. We will accompany thee. Let us make ready for our journey.
Well, now is the time for another edition, or really the first time we've ever shown viewer mail. We reach into the old mail sack, and it's this segment where you, the viewers, write in with your thoughtful comments, constructive criticism, and occasional subpoenas. All right. Well, tonight's letter comes from Karen Karenowitz of Englewood, New Jersey. Dear Rabbi Joe, I am deeply disturbed that your so-called Jewish television program keeps showing Christian educational and religious films. Every week it's Moses, Ruth, sandals, Romans, shepherds, or someone wandering around the Galilee looking concerned. Why can't you find proper Jewish films instead of these old church basement movies? Frankly, I find it ridiculous. Sincerely disgusted, Karen Karenowitz. Well, Karen, first of all, thank you for watching. Second, do you know how hard it is to find Jewish public domain movies? I tried. I really tried. I wanted to show Zlata the Goat. RiffTrax showed them. Couldn't find a copy. And then we did show Little Shop of Horrors. That's kind of Jewish, you know, but a lot of these movies, you know, some of these prints, they look like they've been stored inside a Kugel since the Nixon administration. You think I don't want more Jewish films? Of course I do. But every Christian educational movie from 1953 somehow survived in perfect condition on 16 websites and 3 film archives. And meanwhile, Jewish educational films disappear like socks in the laundromat. And besides, half these movies are about the Hebrew Bible anyway. Moses, Jewish. Ruth, Jewish. She became Jewish. 10 Commandments, very Jewish. I know all of these Jewish Karens. Excuse me, Karen. And they're upset. Oh, why are you putting the 10 Commandments in the schools and in the courtyard? That's Christian. No, it's Jewish. Come on, enough already. If anything, we're repossessing our own material. Karen, if you can find me a pristine public domain print of a 1947 Orthodox Jewish anti-communist puppet musical about Shavuos, I will show it immediately. In fact, I'll make it a double feature with the Dybbuk meets Bessie the talking cow. I gotta get back to learning. It's enough of this. The phone is ringing again. Hello? Yes? It's Mrs. Karenowitz. Hi, Mrs. Karenowitz. You have a film? The Adventures of Herschel, the Kashrus Inspector. public domain, 16 millimeter, with sound. Karen, I take back everything bad I was about to say about you. We don't have enough time to show that. Maybe next week. All right, good night. Have good Yontiv. Oy. Don't let the blintzes bite. All right, back to the show.
Orpa. Now must ye return, each to your mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with thee, as ye have dealt with the dead, and with me. And the Lord grant that ye may find rest and happiness again in marriage.
We will return with thee unto thy people.
Nay, my daughters, why would ye go with me? Have I more sons that ye might marry? Even were I to say I had hope of a husband and of sons, would ye tarry until they were grown? Would ye be denied of husbands for so long a time? Nay, my daughters, it grieveth me much for thy sakes.
So be it, dear one. Farewell. And in thine own land, may thy God soften toward thee, and deliver thee from all thy sorrows.
Behold, thy sister-in-law returneth unto her country and unto her God. Return thou after her.
Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God, my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there shall I be buried. And the Lord do so unto me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me.
As the Lord liveth, our way shall ever be as one. Let us rest a while. Bethlehem is even more lovely than I remembered.
Who are they that follow the reapers?
It is in our law, when thou reapest, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and unto the stranger.
Then they that glean.
They are the poor, my child, and like ourselves, widows.
With so kindly a law, at least we need not starve.
Nay, we shall not starve.
Where was thy husband's field?
It is there, by the olive tree. The land is still in my keeping. Through my husband Elimelech it is mine, and through thy husband Mahlon, so also is it thine. If, as I pray, it may be granted thee to raise up a son to his inheritance.
So little comfort remaineth to thee. Is it not better that the land be sold?
We shall not want. The Lord himself hath bidden me return. Come, let us continue up to Bethlehem.
Naomi, what aileth thee?
Nothing. It is nothing, my child. This is my street. That was my dwelling. Mine no longer, but another's. It was the sudden vision of Elimelech and the days that are gone that caught me in my step.
Be comforted, for thou art home again among thy people.
Is it not Naomi?
Naomi? Naomi. Naomi. Oh, God be praised. Is it really thee?
Call me not Naomi, but call me Mara, for the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me. Elimelech, my husband, is dead. My sons also. I went out full, but the Lord hath brought me home again empty.
Verily have we wept with thee in these years, for sorrow hath been our lot also. Naomi.
Not Naomi, for the Lord hath testified against me, and the Almighty hath afflicted me. I have no dwelling place.
Thou shalt lodge with me, and also this maiden, thy companion.
She is Ruth, a Moabite.
A Gentile.
Yea, but wife to my son Mahlon. She hath both love and pity. She would not be persuaded to forsake me.
The Lord bless thee and watch over thee. The Lord hath brought thee safely home. Now comfort thine heart and be at peace. Naomi is come home. The fields are full. Truly is the Almighty turned again unto his people.
be with ye.
And unto thee, master.
May thy day be blessed.
Peace be unto you.
And upon you be peace, Lord Boaz.
How goes the harvesting?
Goeth well. The Lord hath surely blessed us with a bounteous harvest.
Who is the maid that is gleaning?
She is the Moabite damsel, who returned with Naomi out of the country of Moab. She said, Let me glean, I pray thee, and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came, and hath continued even from morning until now.
And rightly hast thou done. Hear me, my maiden. Go not to glean in another field, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. And when thou art athirst, go unto the vessels, and drink of that which the young men have drawn.
Why have I found grace in thy sight, that thou shouldst take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger?
It hath been fully shown to me all that thou hast done for Naomi, thy mother-in-law, since the death of thine husband. How thou hast left thy father and thy mother, and the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knowest not. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust.
Let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and spoken kindly unto me, though I be not as one of thine handmaidens.
At mealtime, come thou hither and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the wine. Let her glean even among the sheaves, and reproach her not. And let fall also some of the handfuls on purpose for her, and leave them so that she may glean them.
Shall be done, my lord.
Naomi, see. Have I not done well? In one day? This is no gleaning, but a harvest.
Oh, and see, parched corn for thee, for the owner had meat with his reapers.
Where hast thou gleaned? In whose field? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee.
The field is on the road by which we came. The man's name is Boaz.
Boaz? Blessed be he of the Lord for his kindness.
He is known unto thee.
He is my kinsman, and one who might redeem our inheritance.
Naomi, he said unto me, Thou shalt stay by my young men until they have gathered all my harvest.
It is good, my daughter. Go thou out with his maidens. Let them meet thee not in any other field.
There is still more?
The last load is approaching, my lord.
And that will be the end of the threshing?
Yea, master. At evening all will be ready for the winnowing, as soon as the wind stir it.
See, thy kinswoman Naomi cometh.
Peace be upon thee, Naomi.
And peace be unto thee, my kinsman.
Art thou come this way to see me?
At the ending of the harvest, I am come to bless thee in the name of the Lord, for all the goodness thou hast shown unto Ruth, my daughter-in-law, and unto me, also but a widow.
It is no tribute of compassion. Thus would I acknowledge the faithfulness which this Moabite damsel showeth unto thee and to her husband's people.
In all my grief, I praise God that he hath left unto me the love of Ruth. I would ask thee thy advice.
Say on.
There is a parcel of ground which belonged to thy kinsman, Elimelech, my husband.
I know of it. A foursquare field, and fruitful. Wouldst thou have me sell it for thee? If so be, I will gladly do this for thee.
It is the heritage of my son, Mahlon. And I pray that he that redeemeth it will take unto him Ruth, that she may raise up a son to the inheritance, and the land passeth not to a stranger.
She is both virtuous and well-favored. Assuredly he blesseth himself that shall take her to be his wife.
There is no one but to thee that I can turn.
Rest in me, Naomi. Go thou in peace. I will ponder this thing, and will tell thee that which shall be done.
My daughter, shall I not seek a resting place for thee, that thou mayest be happy? Is there not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou did glean?
Thou hast seen him, and spoken of me?
Yea, I have seen him. Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Follow therefore the custom of my people, anoint thyself, put thy raiment upon thee, and go thou down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he hath done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he sleepeth, and thou shalt go and lay down at his feet.
Who art thou?
I am Ruth, thine handmaid, come to speak with thee that the inheritance of Mahlon, my dead husband, be redeemed.
Blessed be thou of the Lord. Fear not, my maiden. I will help thee. For all my people know that thou art a virtuous woman.
Verily art thou our kinsman.
I am thy kinsman, but there is one nearer than I. In the morning I shall hold discourse with him. If he be a true kinsman, he shall prove it. If he buyeth thine inheritance, he shall take thee also. But if not, then will I be unto thee that kinsman, as the Lord liveth. Go, lie thee down until the morning. This day will I attend at the city gate to buy that parcel of land that was Elimelech's. If it be God's will, my nearer kinsman will not redeem it. Take this to thy mother-in-law. Peace be upon you.
And unto you.
Fathers of wisdom, a kinsman of mine comes through the gate. Be ye witness of my business this day. Peace be unto thee, my friend.
Peace.
Turn aside, sit thee down. I have business to talk with thee. Naomi, that is come out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land, which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to tell thee of it, saying, buy it, before these that sit here, the elders of the people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not, then tell me that I may know. For beside thee there is none to redeem it but myself, for I am next to thee.
The field is well known to me. I will redeem it.
The day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabite.
The Moabite?
Widow of Mahlon, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Then I cannot redeem it. Nay, I cannot, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Take thou my right of redemption to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Buy it for thyself.
He attests it with his shoe. Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Mahlon's, of the hand of Naomi.
We are witnesses.
Moreover, Ruth the Moabite, the wife of Mahlon, have I taken to be my wife.
We are witnesses.
The name of the dead shall be raised up again upon his inheritance, and shall not be cut off from among his brethren.
The Lord, make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do worthily in Bethlehem, and become famous in this place.
It seemeth but yesterday that she came among us,
A stranger.
and today she is a bride.
Was ever a bride more lovely?
There is yet this precious jewel.
My heart rejoiceth, and mine also for dear Naomi's sake.
Boaz approaches.
Ah, quick, let us hurry. Yes, Jaws are come. Quickly, he's coming. He's coming through the door. Quickly.
What dignity she has. Like one of a noble house.
Verily, and the blessing of heaven on Bethlehem today.
The Lord be with thee both. Farewell.
Not farewell, for I shall ever be near thee. Whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God, my God.
Wow, wow. What devotion, what sincerity, what suspiciously clean biblical sandals. You know, Ruth, she gleaned grain in the fields. Try saying that 3 times fast. Today, if you glean in a field, somebody calls security. So, anyway, here I am. I'm learning Gemara, Talmud, Tractate Shavuos. And I was surprised. Almost nothing about the Yontiv of Shavuos in it. I said maybe later. Nope. Made it all the way through. 49 blot. Nope, just oaths. So then, you know, my kids learn in Satmar, so I took the Vayol Moshe. Started learning Maimer Shalosh Shavuos. I figured Shalosh Shavuos, 3 Shavuos. Maybe meant a 3-day Yontiv. Well, only 2 of those days are actually Yontiv. Still, nothing about the holiday. I felt cheated. I wanted cheesecake discussions. I wanted arguments as to whether a blintz counts as a sandwich, or as a liquid, or both. Instead, I got geopolitics and oaths. Alright. Well, friends, nothing says Shavuos like dairy products and agricultural propaganda. Our next educational masterpiece, straight from 1943, The Dairy Farm. A simpler time. Well, it was actually the middle of World War II, but it was when America believed every problem could be solved by milk and upbeat narration. Back then, every educational film sounded like this. Billy learned honesty and pasteurization. Let's get homogenized now. Roll it, Igor.
There are various kinds of dairy farms. There are the very large farms which are owned and operated like factories. On such farms, the cows are merely efficient machines for making milk, and dozens of trained workers are employed to care for them and to prepare the milk for market. But most dairy farms are smaller farms, such as the one we're about to visit. Here, the owner, Mr. Johnson, lives and works on his own farm. The children play and work here when they're not in school. They needn't go to the park to play. They have the whole outdoors to play in every day. On this farm, they can even fish in their own backyard. Well, what's this? The bull has seen us, and he's warning us not to come too close. But probably he's only hungry and wants something to eat. He likes his food of ground grain. At other times of the day, he is also fed hay and green fodder. These year-old heifer calves are also hungry and are waiting to be fed. They are Guernseys, as are all the cattle on this farm. In another year or so, these heifers will be grown to full-sized cows and will produce rich, creamy milk. The combination of ground grain, alfalfa hay, and green grass which they are fed makes them the healthy calves that they are. One of the very necessary requirements on a dairy farm is a plentiful supply of good drinking water. Since even the richest milk is composed largely of water, cows must necessarily drink a lot. This artesian well keeps the calves well supplied. And here is a little newcomer with his mother, having breakfast. This little calf is only a few days old, but he has a big appetite, and how he enjoys the rich, warm milk. Here are the cows after the morning milking, going to spend the day in their green pastures, from which they will be brought in again in the late afternoon for milking and for additional feeding. Meanwhile, our little calf has finished his breakfast, and what a contented look he has. His mother will have to hurry if she's to join the other cows on their way to the pasture. In another nearby field, a colt wants its breakfast. What an easy, carefree life a colt has. But by the time he's 2 or 2.5 years old, he'll be grown up and will know what hard work is. This beautiful stallion is the colt's father. He's a purebred Belgian draft horse. How large and powerful he is compared with his little offspring. Out in the hayfield, one of the farm hands is cutting grass with a mower. The sharp sickle moving back and forth near the ground cuts the grass off clean as the horses pull the mower along. This is easier than in pioneer days when the cutting was done by hand. With the mowing finished, the horses are unhitched from the mower and hitched to the rake. This hay, cut a day or two earlier, is raked into windrows with a side delivery rake in preparation for loading and hauling. Here we see the loading of the hay onto the hay rack. The hay loader, which is fastened to the back of the wagon, elevates the hay onto the rack. The full load is hauled from the field to the barn. Horses are also used for this work, but Mr. Johnson uses his tractor for hard pulling whenever he can. Back at the barn, the children scamper into the haymow before the load arrives. A hay fork on a long rope pulled by the tractor lifts the hay into the mow. Our boys and girls come scooting down just in time to keep from being buried by the huge forkful. With the hay safely in the barn, the men now turn their attention to other things. Although the corn is getting rather large, it still needs attention. And here, one of the men is doing the last cultivating of the season. Mr. Johnson believes in raising much of the food for his cattle and horses on his own farm. This is a field of barley. It's almost ripe and ready for harvesting and threshing. In another field, we find oats. This too is almost ripe. When threshed, this grain will fill Mr. Johnson's granary to overflowing and provide plenty of cattle feed for the winter. No farm would be complete without chickens, and here are some eating grain which has been scattered on the ground for them. In the hen house are still other chickens, probably laying eggs. What a noise they make, and how excited they get when the eggs are gathered. Eggs are healthful food, and who wouldn't enjoy the fresh eggs right from the hen house? And here is the dream of every boy and girl, a Shetland pony and its colt only a few months old. And kittens, why, no farm would be complete without kittens. The grown-up cats keep the buildings free from mice and rats. But we'd better not show too many pets, or you will all want to move to the country. Out in the pasture, Betty Lou tries to pet the cows. But they don't care to be petted. Cows are too large for pets anyhow. Summer is the most delightful time on the farm, and it's also a busy time because all the food must be grown and stored for the winter. It is now late summer, and the corn is full grown. This corn is being cut for ensilage. The corn binder is pulled by the tractor here, but sometimes horses are used instead of a tractor. The corn that isn't needed to fill the silo will be husked or shredded, and the ears used to feed the hogs, the chickens, and the horses. These bundles, however, are being hauled to the silo for ensilage. The tractor, which was used to pull the binder and the wagon, is now used to run the ensilage cutter. As the bundles of corn pass through the cutter, the stalks are cut into little bits and blown through this long pipe into the silo. The finely cut corn is called ensilage. In a few weeks, it will ferment like sauerkraut and be ready for feeding. The cows are usually milked twice a day, morning and evening. It is now late afternoon, and the cows are being brought in for the evening milking. Shep, the farm dog, is always on hand to help Dick and Betty Lou with this job. The cows are fed and milked in the barn. Each cow knows her own place and puts her head through the stanchion, which, when closed, holds her in place while she's being fed and milked. Although they've had all the green grass they can eat during the day, the cows now are fed ground grain to give them some of the food elements which may be lacking in the grass. Next, the cows are thoroughly brushed and cleaned to make certain that no dirt may get into the milk. Their udders are washed to remove any mud or dirt which might have gotten on in the pasture. Flies are bothersome pests, so the cows are carefully sprayed to kill them. In earlier years, milking was all done by hand. Now, much of it is done by milking machines, such as this one. Each machine has 4 cups, one for each teat on the cow's udder. Listen to the action of the pump drawing the milk out of the cow's udder and into the pail. No dirt will get into this milk. This cow is milked by hand. Watch the hand squeeze out the milk and listen to the tune it plays on the bottom of the pail. Next, the milk is weighed and the weight recorded. Then, it is taken to the milk house and carefully strained through a fine cloth. Most farmers deliver their milk to the creamery or cheese factory or collecting station in 10-gallon cans such as this one. But since Mr. Johnson sells his milk direct to the city buyer, it is bottled for delivery. Cooling the milk stops the growth of bacteria and helps to keep it from getting sour. Next, the bottles are capped and then stored in a refrigerator, awaiting delivery to the city market. Next morning, Mr. Johnson loads up his milk truck and starts out to his route in the city. And so we bid farewell to Mr. Johnson's dairy farm.
Beautiful, inspiring, slightly unsettling. You know, I grew up on a farm, but those cows look more organized than most synagogue boards. Certainly the ones I worked for. You know, after watching these dairy films all night, half the audience is going to wake up tomorrow and accidentally join the future farmers of America. I better get back to learning. Excuse me, important call. Yes, hello. Yes, this is Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor. Yes. Yes, this is the Shavuos special. No, we do not have a sponsorship from the dairy lobby. Well, yes, there are many cows tonight. No, that does not make it propaganda. What's that? You represent the Association of Carnivorous Plants? And you object to the negative portrayal earlier tonight? Aha, you feel the Venus flytrap community is misunderstood. That was a documentary. I thought it was very, respectful. I mean, we showed Little Shop of Horrors before. I think that was much more racist against your community. You feel the Venus flytrap community is misunderstood. Yeah, you said that already. You only eat insects and televangelists. Alright, well, I appreciate your clarification. What's that? You'd like equal time next year? A cooking segment? No, I don't think 101 ways to prepare entomological casserole is appropriate family viewing. And unless they're kosher locusts, it's not kosher. Hello? Hello? He hung up on me. It's very rude for a plant. Well, now another dairy delight. From 1963, A Visit to Uncle Jim's Dairy Farm. You know you're in for excitement when the title sounds like mandatory elementary school homework. I haven't been this excited about dairy since the rabbi accidentally locked himself in the synagogue freezer with the cheesecake. Roll it.
This is a story about the summer George and Betty spent on Uncle Jim's dairy farm. George and Betty are both excited because this is a very special trip. But they're not a bit more excited than Andy and Jane, who live on the farm.
Jane, I think they're here. I see their car. Are you sure? Sure, I'm sure. I'll run tell Mom. Mom, they're here. George and Betty are coming.
No wonder they're all so excited. After Uncle Fred and Aunt Alice go back to the city, George and Betty are going to stay to spend a whole summer on the farm with Jane and Andy.
Where's Uncle Jim? Dad's out in the field. Come on, and they'll let you ring the bell to call him. Okay. Let me ring it. Go ahead, Betty. You ring it.
The grown-ups have things to talk about, but Andy and Jane have their plans all set. The first thing to do is to show their city cousins some new things around the farm. And because it is a dairy farm, the first thing they show off is their bright new milking parlor, where their older brother, Bill, has started the milking.
How are you?
We're fine. Mine is clean in here.
That's right, Betty. All dairy farms want to keep their barns clean, and their cows, too.
Is that why you're washing the cow?
Every morning and evening, George, just before they're milked. This is one way we help to make sure the milk is always pure and wholesome, and good tasting, too. See those pipes up there? The milk runs from the cow through those pipes to the big cooler in the milk room.
Yeah, and it keeps cold and fresh until the refrigerator tank truck comes and picks it up every morning.
That's right, Andy.
Uncle Jim, how do cows make milk? Oh, they make it out of what they eat. Yes, but what do they eat?
Well, come on. I'll show you. You ever seen like that before? Now, this is what the cows eat at milking time.
Why, that looks like some of our breakfast cereals.
Well, that's pretty much what it is, Betty. As a matter of fact, cows are a lot like people. Now, this feed is a special mixture of ground grain with the extra vitamins and minerals that cows must eat to stay healthy. Of course, they eat grass and hay and silage, too. They need all different kinds of good food, plenty of good, clean water, and a clean, comfortable place to live. That way, they grow to be strong and healthy. But I better get over there and help your brother Bill with the milking. You know, Andy, I think that maybe Betty and George would like to see the hayloft. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, come on, let's play all the leader. Sure.
That's okay, George. You can't do it now, but the bigger and stronger you get, and the more you practice, the more things you can do. You'll be able to do it by the end of the summer.
George and Betty soon discovered that on a farm, everybody has work to do. Right now, this new calf doesn't need any help. It's just 2 days old, but it knows where its dinner is. But later on, it will be Andy's job to teach the calf to drink its milk from a pail and to eat other feed. Uncle Jim and Bill make sure the grown-up cows are properly fed, that they get grain and grass and silage, all the good food and clean water they need to make good, fresh milk. There was plenty for everybody to do. Betty helped Jane take care of the baby lamb. And they all learned about pigs, too.
Suet, suet, crack, crack, suet. Suet, suet, crack, crack, suet.
George and Andy helped Bill feed the pigs every day, while Betty and Jane helped with the babies. Pigs don't have good table manners, but they enjoy their dinner, a mixture of milk and ground grains. Later, they will eat corn and other kinds of feed. Baby chicks, too, are started out on a special mixture of ground-up grain, milk, and other feeds. This is Betty's and Jane's favorite chore. The baby chicks are so soft and cuddly. On the farm, a big dog has plenty of room to run and play. But he is more than a pet. He also protects the family. But all the puppies have to do is eat and play and sleep and grow up strong and healthy. Jane's kitten loves to drink his milk. And Jane and Betty enjoy playing with the kittens. When the dinner bell rings, no one has to call the girls twice. They run to the house and wash up quickly so they won't be late. Living on a farm makes you hungry, and Aunt Helen is certainly a good cook. Look at all the wonderful things to eat. It takes all kinds of good food to build up muscles and let us grow bigger and stronger. The children are ready for bed after a busy day on the farm. This is the way the summer went. Play, work, and rest. The children helped with the chores, while Bill helped in the cornfield. Andy and George kept the vegetable garden clear of weeds. Jane and Betty brought in fresh eggs each day and helped Aunt Helen with the housework. It was fun, too, especially riding the horses. Whenever they were hungry in the middle of the afternoon, there were snacks under the shady trees in the big yard. Twice a week, letters from home in the big mailbox beside the highway. As the summer passed, everything seemed to grow. The corn was knee-high on George when he came. Now it's taller than he is. Andy's calf is bigger and eating like a grown cow. The lambs are almost grown. And look how big the pigs are now. The little chicks have become grown chicks. George and Betty have grown bigger and stronger, too. George can even shinny up that rope now. Yes, they've had a wonderful time. They've learned how animals grow through good, nourishing food. They've learned how work and play and fun go together on the farm. They've had good, nourishing food to grow on. And plenty of sleep. The summer is over, and George and Betty are waiting for their parents to take them back to the city. It's time for goodbye now, but the children will have a lot to tell their friends at home. It'll be a long time before either George and Betty or Andy and Jane forget that summer of fun on Uncle Jim's Dairy Farm.
Wonderful, educational, deeply pasteurized. Uncle Jim seemed very happy. Of course, if someone followed me along with orchestral music while I handled yogurt, I'd look happy too. You know, all this educational film music reminds me, you know, at the end of the episodes we always play Tom Lehrer. And you know, he sings about this holiday. He spent Shavuos in East St. Louis. I thought that was in Missouri. It's actually in Illinois. I didn't know that, but of course there he performed his famous holiday song, Poisoning Pigeons at the Cheesecake Factory. No, wait. Well, that may have been a different version. Well, friends, one dairy farm film was not enough. 2 dairy farm films was not enough. So now a third, The Dairy Farmer from 1965. Tonight's episode has more cows than low-budget westerns filmed in Wisconsin. Roll it, Igor.
Almost everywhere throughout the land, wherever feed crops can be raised or readily purchased, dairy cattle are found. Even in regions of the country where grass is scarce and water precious. For milk and milk products are part of the daily diet of almost every American. But some sections of the country are better suited to dairy farming than others. In areas where there is rolling farmland, best suited for pasture and hay, where transportation to large city markets is fast and economical, you are likely to find intensive dairy farming. More than 75% of America's dairy cattle are concentrated in a belt that stretches across the eastern half of the nation, in a region where the growing season is too short to produce more profitable cash crops. For more than half a century, dairy farming has been a major occupation.
You know, these films always portray farm life as peaceful and idyllic. Meanwhile, the cows are probably thinking we haven't had a vacation since the Eisenhower administration. Alright, now our grand finale. It's actually a film strip, it's not a movie, I apologize. Life of Moses, Episode 5, The Ten Commandments, from 1958, produced by Cathedral Films. Again, I apologize. Find me some public domain Jewish movies that are not in Yiddish or silent. Anyway, nothing says Shavuos like Mount Sinai, thunder, lightning, divine revelation, and film strips with slightly warped audio. You know, every time I see Moses portrayed on film, I think of Cecil B. DeMille. That man gave us biblical episodes so large they required their own zip code. And honestly, if Cecil B. DeMille had directed synagogue announcements, they'd still be 4 hours long. You know the joke. The rabbi puts his watch down on the beam as he's about to say his drasha, and there's a guest there and says, "What does that mean?" And they said, "Absolutely nothing." All right, roll it, Igor.
The life of Moses and the story of how he received the Ten Commandments. When the children of Israel in their flight from Egypt came to the banks of the Red Sea, God spoke to Moses, saying, "Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, so that the people of Israel may go on dry ground through the sea. This Moses did. And the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the people of Israel went into the midst of the sea on dry ground, the waters being a wall on their right and on their left. And when Moses and the children of Israel had reached the other side safely, the Lord spoke again to Moses, saying, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the water may come back upon the Egyptians." And the waters closed as the Lord commanded them to do, and Pharaoh's army was caught in the midst of them, and all the legions of Egypt were drowned, not one was saved. Thus did the Lord save Israel from the power of the Egyptians. And when the Israelites saw the mighty act which the Lord had performed, they were in awe, and they believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. Now with Moses they sang a song unto the Lord, whose words were, "I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him a habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him." Having come from Egypt and their triumphal crossing of the Red Sea, the children of Israel passed through the wilderness of Shur. Then they came to a place called Elim, and rested a while. After a short time they continued into the wilderness of Zin, in the desert of Sinai. Moses and Aaron now looked unto God, that he might speak. And the Lord said unto them, "I am going to rain food out of the sky for you, but the people are to go out and gather only a day's ration each day, in order that I may test them to see whether they will follow my instructions or not." And in the morning, when the dew had gone, there was on the face of the wilderness a flake-like thing. When the people saw it, they did not know what it was. But Moses told them it was bread which the Lord had given them to eat, and they were to gather it up. And on the 6th day they were told to bring twice as much as they gathered daily, as the next day would be the Sabbath. Again the journey proceeded from the desert of Zin to a camping at Rephidim, and once more there were cries of anguish from the people, for there was no water to drink. And the people cried unto Moses, saying, "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to have us die of thirst?" Once more Moses turned to the Lord, asking, "What am I to do with my people? They are almost ready to stone me." Then God told Moses, Pass on ahead of the people. Take your staff in your hand with which you struck the Nile. I will stand myself before you on a rock, and when you strike the rock, water will gush out of it, so that the people may drink. And the people drank from the rock, and filled their jars with water for the journey still ahead. Now did the Israelites enter the wilderness of Sinai, and soon they camped at the foot of a great mountain called Mount Sinai. And Moses went up on the mountain, for he perceived that God would be there. And God was on the mountain, and he gave unto Moses the commandments, written on a tablet of stone. And the first commandment that God gave Moses was, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. The second commandment. Thou shalt not make to thyself any graven image, nor the likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down to them, or worship them. The third commandment. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. The fourth commandment. Thou shalt keep holy the Sabbath day. The fifth commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. The sixth commandment. Thou shalt not kill. The seventh commandment. Thou shalt not commit adultery. The eighth commandment. Thou shalt not steal. The ninth commandment. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. The 10th commandment. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's possessions. And after the 10th commandment was given, Moses remained upon the mountain in the presence of the Lord for many days and nights. And when the people saw that Moses delayed in coming down from the mountain, they gathered about Aaron, saying he should make a god to go ahead of them. For now they did not have Moses to lead them, and they wished for one to worship and follow. So Aaron bid the people to take the gold rings from the ears of their wives, sons, and daughters, and to bring these jewels to him. This the people did. And Aaron took the gold, pouring it into a mold, until there came out a golden calf. Whereupon he said, "Here is your God, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." And the people worshipped this new God, and they drank, and they played. And when Moses came down from the mountain with the tablets of the testimony in his hands, he was met by a young man named Joshua, who told Moses there was a noise of war in the camp. But Moses replied, "It is not the sound of shouting for victory, but the sound of singing I hear." But as Moses came near the camp and saw the golden calf and the people dancing, he became angry, and in wrath raised the tablets of stone above his head. He threw the tablets from his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain, and his anger stirred deep within him. Now Moses came down to the people, to the altar of the golden calf, and made ready to destroy it. The calf destroyed, Moses turned to Aaron and asked, "What did this people do to you that you have brought a great sin upon them?" And Aaron replied, "Let not my Lord's anger blaze. The people did not know what had become of you, so they asked me to make them a god so that they might have something to worship." Then Moses spoke to the people, saying, "You have committed a great sin. I will once again go to the Lord, and perhaps I may make atonement for your sin." And Moses prayed, "Alas, this people have sinned a great sin. They have made for themselves gods of gold. But now if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, I pray then, blot me out of thy book which thou hast written." Some time later, the Lord spoke again to Moses, saying, "You have found favor in my sight. Cut once more 2 tablets of stone like the first, and I will write upon the tablets the words that were on the first which you broke, and you will take them again to your people." And from that day forward, the 10 Commandments have been the law of God's people.
Rabbi Joe's Midnight Monster Manor.
Hey everyone! Today I'm diving into a fascinating topic that ties deep religious history to our understanding of credibility and truth. I'm talking about the revelation at Sinai, a cornerstone event in Jewish tradition, as well as other Abrahamic faiths, celebrated during the holiday of Shavuos or Pentecost. But why is this event more credible than, say, a UFO sighting? Let's unpack this. Imagine you're walking alone in the woods and you see a UFO. You come back, you tell your story. Some might believe you, others might shrug it off. It's a private experience, hard to verify. Now picture this. It's the Super Bowl halftime and a UFO lands right there. Millions see it, live and broadcasted. That story sticks. It's public, it's verifiable. This is similar to what happened at Mount Sinai over 3,000 years ago. It wasn't a solitary prophet who claimed to have a divine message. It was an entire nation, hundreds of thousands of people who experienced the divine revelation together. They heard, "I am the Lord your God." This wasn't a story passed down by one. It was an experience shared by a multitude. Now consider this. More people witnessed the revelation at Sinai than the number of people who met George Washington during his lifetime. If we accept George Washington as a historical figure based on documented evidence and accounts, the event at Sinai stands on even firmer historical ground due to its massive, direct witness base. But there's more. The book of Deuteronomy makes a bold claim. No other nation will ever claim such an experience of national revelation. And guess what? History supports this. No other religion or culture reports an event where a whole nation witnessed a divine revelation together. Not only Maimonides, a medieval Jewish philosopher, but also the Kuzari, an influential Jewish philosophical and apologetic text by Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, both highlight the uniqueness of Sinai's revelation. So why does this matter? In a world where truth is often subjective and seeing is believing, the Sinai revelation stands out. It's not just a tale passed through generations, it's a foundational moment witnessed by a nation, a moment so profound and shared that it has anchored the Jewish faith for millennia. As we reflect on this during Shavuos, we realize the power of collective experience in shaping belief and truth. The Sinai revelation isn't just a story. It's a historical event with a witness count so high that it sets a standard for truth in the annals of spiritual history. Thanks for joining me today. Reflect on this, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see the truth a bit more clearly.
Well, friends, our Shavuos short Shubject Exshtravaganza Shpecial has come to an end. Tonight we learned valuable lessons. Some plans, maybe not the ones we decorate the shul with, but they could be terrifying. Ruth was loyal. Moses brought the Torah. Dairy farmers never sleep. That's why my family only raised beef cattle. And educational film narrators were legally prohibited from sounding exciting. So remember to celebrate Shavuos responsibly, study Torah all night, eat cheesecake carefully, and never trust a fern that looks hungry. So until next time, this is Rabbi Joe reminding you, keep watching the skies, keep watching the screen, keep your blintzes refrigerated. Good night, everybody, and good night, Cecil B. DeMille, wherever you are.
I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. And though I try to get my ass over to Tel Aviv for Passover, I always end up down in Tennessee. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah like a baby in his cradle. I'll be playing with my dreidel. Here's to Judas Maccabeus, boy, if he could only see us spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea.
Yibnei HaMikdash Hirtzia ente malai Okar lesozman
Nay 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 na oh ya dai da dum na 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 oh oh my bum na 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 oh yeah na
Shalom and welcome to Congregation Kol Emes Torah Minute. We're coming up to the holiday of Shavuos, which is a time when the whole Jewish people gather together to once again receive the Torah anew. Tzaddikim of old, they would actually see, when they would read the Torah on the day of Shavuos, they would actually see the thunder and lightning in the revelation of Mount Sinai. The old Satmar Rebbe, Exshtravaganza, said that it's not a wonder that the old tzaddikim, they can see these things. The wonder is that we don't see it. But if we have a little bit of feeling and a little bit of intention, and we enter the holiday in holiness and purity, and do tshuva, we can taste a little bit of that feeling, of that excitement, and that unity of receiving the Torah. In the Sefer Pninim and Shulchan Gavoah, the teachings of the tzaddikim from Beis Brisk, from the Vilna Gaon, brings down the Brisker Rav, Zeichet Tzadik V'Chodesh L'Bracha, Yitzchak Zev Soloveitchik, Rebbe Brisker, explained the Zemer from Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, Zeichet Tzadik L'Bracha, and the Rishon, the author of the Kuzari, who wrote the Zemer, the hymn for Shabbos morning, Yom Shabboson, in the word that says, Uvoi Chulam Bivris Yachad Nasa V'Nishma Amir Kerechad. It says, Uvoi Chulam, they all came together Bivris Yachad, in the united covenant. And what did they say? Nasa V'Nishma Amir Kerechad. They said, we will do and we will hear. They said all at once, all together as one. Brisker Rav said, it had to be that way. It had to be Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will hear. Because if they would just say, we will hear, meaning we'll learn Torah and understand, and then we'll do, everyone's in a different level of how we can understand things. But action is something that we can all do together and all do on the same level. And so that's what Brisker Rav said, that Rabbi Yehuda Levi was pointing out the unity of Klal Yisrael when we said those famous words, is brought, it's in the scripture, in Parshas Mishpatim. It says, Na'aseh v'nishma amru ke'echad. We will hear and we will do and we will hear. First we will do, meaning when we do things and all together, there's a specific unity. No matter what level of understanding, what level of intelligence that you is on, we can all do the mitzvahs all together and accept the Torah, all the mitzvahs, all the Torah. It's hidden in this day when we accepted the Torah. And if we take care of it on this so crucial day, it should be worthy to see tremendous fruits. And enjoy the depth of every holiday, and enjoy also every mitzvah, every time we put on tefillin, every time we say a bracha, every time we learn Torah, every time we daven, every time we do any mitzvah, we're nice to another person, we do a chesed, we give tzedakah. Everything we do should feel a tremendous spiritual light. And we're making the investment now, we should be worthy all together as one to accept the Torah with love.
Elyonim susi v'sechtoin nemalzi b'kabulas toira aksivo mi Sinai b'kabulas toira aksivo mi Sinai hoi kroi kalamoid nesale b'kabulas toira mi Sinai hoi kroi kalamoid nesale b'kabulas toira mi Sinai.
Yibunei HaMikdash, Hirtzia in the Malach.